Could Pogačar have won more at TDF 2025? The Almeida factor, why UAE held back? What really stopped Tadej Pogačar from winning even more stages at this year's Tour de France? The answer might surprise you, and it's not as simple as fatigue or bad luck. In fact, the story behind his performance is more complex and a bit more controversial than most fans realize. Let's set the stage. As the peloton rolled into Paris, Pogačar was on the verge of clinching his fourth yellow jersey, cementing his status as the standout rider of his generation. With 4 stage victories and a commanding lead of over 4 minutes on Jonas Vingegaard, he was just 1 win away from joining the legendary 5-win club. But here's where it gets interesting. Despite his dominance, some observers couldn't help but wonder, why didn't Pogačar rack up even more stage wins? After all, last year, he claimed 6. This time, he seemed unstoppable after the Pyrenees, but then missed out on triumphs at iconic finishes like Mont Ventoux and the Alpine climbs. Was it exhaustion, lingering effects from a crash in the second week, or perhaps a strategic decision not to attack when he didn't need to? All of these played a part, but there's a deeper reason that most people overlook. According to UAE Emirates XRG sport director, Joxian Matzin Fernandez, the real turning point was the loss of João Almeida on stage 9. Losing João forced us to rethink our entire approach, Fernandez explained. It probably cost us at least 1 stage win and the team classification. João was strong enough to be on the podium in Paris. Think about that for a moment. 4 stage wins is an incredible achievement, but Almeida's early departure forced the team to adapt on the fly, changing the entire dynamic of their tour. This tour was on another level. Last year, Pogačar seemed almost superhuman, taking 6 stages and looking like he could have won even more. This year, after back-to-back victories at Hautacam and Peyragudes, he just didn't have the same explosive power to cross the line first in the remaining mountain stages. Could things change in the final Montmartre circuit? Maybe, but with legendary climbs like Mont Ventoux, Col de la Loze, and La Planche ahead, many expected Pogačar to sweep the board. Instead, breakaways succeeded, with Thymen Arensman, Ineos Grenadiers, taking 2 stage wins at Superbagnares and La Planche, while Pogačar watched from behind. Every year we say it's the hardest tour ever, but this year really was on another level, Pogačar admitted. If you look at the power data, it's been incredible and brutally tough. Even today, we were almost flat out from start to finish. The final battle. After stage 20, Pogačar shared a handshake with Vingegaard and a laugh with Wout van Aert, signaling the end of a grueling contest. But UAE and Pogačar were missing that extra spark, something many now attribute to Almeida's absence. We had to use Adam Yates, Jonathan Narvaez, and Niels Pollitt differently after João left, Fernandez said. We didn't want to risk burning out the team. Our Tour de France was fundamentally different without him. Was this enough to cost Pogačar wins at Mont Ventoux and Col de la Loze? But our main goal was always the yellow jersey. Of course, we wanted more stage wins, but we had to adjust our tactics. Without Almeida, Pogačar lost his key climbing support, making it harder to control the race in the toughest moments. Yet even with 1 man down, UAE still dominated. With Almeida, could the team have been even more ruthless? That's a question that's sure to spark debate. Mission accomplished. Despite the setbacks, UAE managed to control Visma and protect Pogačar's yellow jersey, even if it meant sacrificing a stage win or 2. The team heads to Paris with 5 stage wins, 4 from Pogačar and 1 from Tim Wellens, and another yellow jersey all but secured. The celebrations have already begun, with champagne on ice and smiles at the finish line. Only the tricky Montmartre stage remains between the team and their 4th yellow jersey in 6 years. It was mission accomplished after the Alps, Pavel Sivakov told Velo. Sunday's stage will be tough, but with our lead we should be fine. But here's the part most people miss. Vingegaard had already conceded by La Planche, focusing only on the final mountain stage. And Almeida's absence forced riders like Sivakov to step up, even as he battled illness himself. "We're all exhausted," Sivakov admitted. "João was a huge loss. With him, we might have won a couple more stages. At La Plagne and Super Bagnaires, we just needed one more guy to pull at the end. It opened up the race for everyone, but we really missed João." Sivakov believes Almeida was in top form and could have fought for the podium. "For us, it became all about defending. Even without him, the team was strong enough to bring Tadej to Paris in yellow." Building his legacy. So, does it really matter if Pogačar won 4 stages instead of 6? In the grand scheme, probably not. He was untouchable, even against a peak form Vingegaard and relentless attacks from Visma Lease bike. "To be honest, it doesn't change much," Sivakov said. "He's still number 1. He's just proving again that he's the best in the world. Even after a crash, he keeps going, keeps winning. This victory is another chapter in his legacy." But what do you think? Was Pogačar's performance this year a sign of tactical brilliance, or did the loss of Almeida truly hold him back? Should teams focus on stage wins, or is the yellow jersey all that matters? Share your thoughts below. Let's hear your take on one of the most debated tours in recent memory. Tadej Pogačar, cycling perfection, UAE team's Tour de France Masterclass. Imagine a world where a single cyclist's dominance in the Tour de France is so overwhelming that it leaves every other pro cyclist in awe and slightly terrified. This is the reality we're witnessing with Tadej Pogačar. And according to Joxane Fernandez Matson, the team manager of UAE Team Emirates, Pogačar's 4th Tour de France victory is just another step in a carefully crafted plan that shows no signs of stopping. But even after claiming yet another yellow jersey, Matson firmly believes Pogačar hasn't reached his peak performance. In a recent interview with AS, Matson praised the team's Tour de France performance with a strong A grade, acknowledging only one minor setback, the crash of João Almeida, which may have cost them an individual medal and potentially the team classification. If João hadn't crashed, he could have been on the podium, Matson reflected. "This crash affected our results in both individual and team classifications." Matson highlighted 2 significant achievements by UAE Emirates during the tour. Firstly, they demonstrated exceptional tactical acumen, and secondly, they delivered a powerful psychological blow to their competitors. Pogačar's early performances in the Cannes time trial and on Hautacam set the tone for the rest of the race. "Those early days were crucial, both psychologically and in terms of time gain," Matson explained. "We were nervous about the first 10 days, filled with tension. However, we managed to take control without always wearing the leader's jersey." Interestingly, Pogačar didn't launch many attacks during the final mountain stages, a strategy Matson attributed to maintaining a lead. "When you're 4 minutes ahead, you need to play it smart," he said. Pogačar enjoys aggressive racing, but defending a lead can be challenging, both for him and the spectators. Motivation remains a critical factor for Pogačar, even with his remarkable achievements. To keep him engaged, the team frequently adjusts his schedule and shifts his focus between different races. For instance, they might switch from Paris-Nice to Tirreno-Adriatico or prioritize the Tour of Flanders over another stage race. Is winning a monument like Flanders more thrilling than anticipating an attack in the mountains? Matson pondered. Perhaps, but that doesn't diminish the importance of the Tour. Despite his numerous victories, Pogačar doesn't chase records or historical milestones. Instead, he's driven by the challenge of each course, the competition, and his team. He lives in the moment, Matson emphasized. When asked if Pogačar is the most talented cyclist he's encountered, Matson left no room for doubt. "Absolutely. What's truly remarkable is his continuous improvement," he said. "Our staff, including his trainer and nutritionist, witness it firsthand. He's far from reaching his limit." In Matson's words, Pogačar embodies cycling perfection. But there's a twist. The Slovenian recently announced he won't participate in the Vuelta a España in 2025, a decision that might breathe a sigh of relief among the Grand Tour contenders. But here's where it gets controversial. Could Pogačar's absence from the Vuelta signal a strategic shift in his career, or is he simply taking a break? What do you think? Share your thoughts in the comments. Tadej Pogačar's defensive strategy, a Tour de France analysis. Nothing drains the excitement from a major cycling race quite like overly cautious tactics, yet that's exactly what played out in the final week of the Tour de France, casting a quieter, almost anticlimactic shadow over what should have been a high-voltage finish. Was it predictable? Maybe, but here's where things get interesting. Tadej Pogačar, known for his explosive style and willingness to animate the peloton with bold attacks, suddenly became the poster child of defensive racing as he cruised toward a comfortable victory. UAE Team Emirates sports manager recently pulled back the curtain on this much-discussed shift in strategy, revealing that neither Pogačar nor the viewing public found much enjoyment in the conservative approach. When you're sitting on a lead of over 4 minutes against formidable rival Jonas Vingegaard riding for Visma Lease bike, the stakes demand a certain caution. After all, no one wants to gamble away a fourth coveted yellow jersey in the name of entertainment. Many fans expected a dramatic duel in the mountains, perhaps a flurry of attacks and counterattacks, reminiscent of preceding weeks. Instead, what they got was steadiness. Pogačar rode methodically, covering moves, ensuring no surprise attacks could unravel his dominance, and generally neutering any possibility for late-race heroics. And this is the part most people miss. While safe, this approach, sometimes called racing not to lose rather than racing to win, is often criticized even if it's the smartest choice for athletes at the very top. Does this make cycling less appealing for the fans? Should athletes risk more for the sake of spectacle? Or is protecting victory a mark of true professionalism? Some argue Pogačar owed it to the sport to keep fighting tooth and nail, no matter the risk. Others empathize with his pragmatic calculations. Where do you stand? Should leaders play it safe or go down swinging? Drop your opinions below. Debate encouraged.